Hey guys, how's it going? Aja Collections here, and today I'm reviewing something really crazy that I never thought I would review. This is a weapons collection pack from Aliexpress, and I've resorted to calling it the Faker's Dozen from Aliexpress. So I'll go through each of the weapons individually in just a minute, but I just wanted to discuss like what I think this is and how this came about. When I was checking Mezko for their Baker's Dozen, yeah, they sold out pretty quick because they're shipping from the US and it was like just weapons accessories. I didn't really want to buy it. I checked on AliExpress and they had like a weapons pack. The title was, I think, Punisher's weapon set for Mezco 112 or something like that. So I saw it. I thought, hey, it's cheaper than the Baker's Dozen. Might as well get it. And I did get it. So this is what I ended up with. It took about a month to ship. So all in all, I think it's still worth it. There's a lot of accessories or a lot of different guns, bullet effects, grenades, bombs, different things that come with the pack, so it's pretty cool. So full disclaimer guys, before we get into the video, I just wanted to let you know that I have no idea what guns are or what the different parts of guns are. I've only seen them in movies and the likes, so I'm not really a gun fanatic or anything like that. So I simply got this pack because I thought it was cheap and I thought it was kind of cool, and because the Baker's Dozen from Mezco was out, I thought it would be, I guess, worth it to buy it. So that's the only reason I got it, and I'll probably use it as accessory to some of my figures, but I have no idea about guns. So if I butcher any of the terms or terminology, I apologize. So let's kick things off with this silencer mounted pistol. So I think the tip here is a silencer barrel. I am not 100% sure, but I think that's what it is. So it looks like a pistol here with just like a really large silencer barrel in the front, and the cool thing about this is the magazine clip comes out, or the clip, I'm not sure what that term is, but yeah, you have basically an extra for that. So the paint on the clip is alright. It's got like a little bit of a tip with a gold bullet and also like a red tip, is it? Yep, and it basically just slots in pretty cozy and it stays in there, so that's pretty cool. And the gun doesn't have too much paint on it, and neither does the silencer, but yeah, I guess it gets the job done. You could probably dry brush it to make it look a little bit better, but in terms of just how it looks, I think it looks alright. So next up, we've got two tactical knives, one of them being black and the other one being silver and black. So this one's the black one, where the nubs are on this side. So it looks like these two are very similar, but still different. So the knobs on this one is on this side, whereas on the black one, it's on the other side. So that is raised up a little bit on the handle here. But on the silver one, it's raised on the other side. So it looks like it's the same kind of basic sculpt, but then something's added to it later on. But the knives look pretty cool. The black one looks pretty cool, and the edge looks really serrated, but it's basically just plastic that's painted, but gets the job done. The silver one looks pretty cool as well, and it's really good details, so I like that. There's a little bit of paint slop, but I'm willing to forgive it. It's so small. But yeah, that's what the knives look like. So I also found that the set comes with 6 of these grenades. Basically, they look very similar. The paint might be a little bit different on each of them because it looks like they're hand painted, but they look alright. The only issue is that I couldn't find them to be fitting inside any of the other weapons. So it looks like they're just standalone grenades, and all 6 of them are pretty consistently similar. So next up, we've got 4 of these grenades. So they look pretty cool. The silver is detailed on like the pin as well. That's pretty cool. There's a little bit of different paints going on, like especially on the handle and the grenade itself. But yeah, it's nothing too fancy. It's kind of plain painted, but yeah, that looks good as well. And they just look like standalone grenades, so that's pretty cool. And you get 4 of them. So next up, we've got this handgun, and it has a lot of painted details. So if we look at that here, there's a silver paint on the back here, also silver tip. Cool thing about this is that you can actually pull that back. So it doesn't have any spring loaded into it, but you can still pull it back and forth. The clip comes out and you can replace it with a secondary clip. And they're both kind of similar, but one is painted a little bit better. I mean, it's a clip, and if it's inside the gun, you can't really see the tip. So the painting doesn't really matter, and I put it in the opposite way. But yeah, it looks alright. So next we've got another handgun, which also looks pretty cool, and it's got some silver dry brushing on it as well. And yeah, this looks more like, I'm not sure if this is the right term or not, but it looks more like a Glock kind of pistol, which, yeah, it's got like a pretty chunky aesthetic to it. Looks pretty cool, looks pretty strong. The tip is a bit short, but I think that's what it's supposed to look like, which is pretty cool. And I actually like the shorter tip for some reason. And that clip is removable as well. I don't want to push it in too much because I did push it in too much previously and then I had a really hard time removing it, but you get an extra clip with it as well. So onto something bigger. This looks like a submachine gun. I'm not sure if it is, and if it's not, please don't murder me in the comments. But yeah, looks pretty cool. There's a little bit of dry brushing going on, silver dry brushing. Two different clips. One of them is heavily dry brushed. One of them isn't as dry brushed. So it's a little bit weird, but yeah, it's not that consistent. But with weapons, I think it depends on, how much wear and tear it goes through. If it's sitting in your holster, it probably doesn't get damaged as much, and if it's sitting on the gun, it probably gets weathered a lot more. So I guess you could use it in those terms and then be okay with the inconsistency. But yeah, the weapon itself looks pretty cool. A lot of good details. So next up, we've got the school rifle. There's a lot of good painting on the clip. There's a little bit of dry brushing going on the actual gun itself. The scope looks detailed, which is very nice. And the gun itself looks very heavy, very, I don't know, very tactical, very, I don't know, I'm not sure. Is that a sniper? I don't think it is. I think it's more like a rifle. Yeah, but you guys can let me know in the comments. But yeah, looks pretty cool. And because you get clips for everything else, you get the clip treatment here as well. But the only issue that I found with this is that the clip is not that well pressure fitted, so it tends to fall off easily. So yeah, I'd be careful. So next we have this rifle slash grenade launcher, and my dumbass brain just realized where that goes. Well, I dropped it off camera, I'll just pick it up. I just realized where that goes, so it goes into here. So yeah, you could basically just slot it in there, and that's where it goes. So there's a secondary grenade launcher as well as a rifle on top, and it's pretty cool. It's got some scratch marks, but the scratch marks look very prominent and not like scratch marks because they look like they're painted on, which doesn't look too nice. But everything else, the dry brushing is pretty good on it, and not many moving parts except for that, and the grenade almost fell out, and also that. And like all the other guns, you also get like a secondary clip, so that's pretty cool. So next up, we've got this huge Gatling kind of gun. I'm not sure if that's what it's called, but yeah, I think it's kind of like a Gatling gun where you hold it like that, and then the trigger's on the top here. So you basically pull that in, and then you start shooting like a lot of rounds. I think usually you have like a chain going into it. I think that's a slot for the chain, or I'm probably incorrect. But yeah, usually I think with these guns you have like a really long strip for the bullets, and then it just starts bombarding someone with bullets because it's just spins around and then shoots out a lot of bullets. I'm not sure if that's the one that I'm thinking about, but yeah. Anywho, the gun or the weapon looks pretty awesome. There are holes at the front there so that you can put the fire effects in. There's no moving parts to it at all, but yeah, it just looks very nice aesthetically. So next up, we've got like a huge rocket launcher or a bazooka. I'm not sure which one it is, but it looks pretty cool. You don't get any bullet effects or any of the ammo clips or ammo for this one. You just get the bazooka or the rocket launcher itself. It's got a lot of dry brushing going on, which looks pretty nice. And there's a big hole at the back, so I'm not sure if you see that, but that's a big hole there, and there's a small hole on the front as well, but nothing that plugs into it. So yeah, unfortunately I don't have any of my Harley Quinn rocket launchers from Mezco, otherwise it would have been nice to compare. But yeah, this looks decent. So finally we come to this massive weapon I've left for the end. We also have the bullet effects, but we'll talk about them later. But this one was the most impressive kind of gun. It has the most paint going on as well because of all the silver paintwork going on here, and because it's pretty big, and it has the most moving parts as well. So in terms of moving parts, or let's just look at the gun first and then we'll go to the moving parts. So it's got a scope here, or what looks like a scope. It's got a big handle here, a trigger handle here as well, and a shoulder kind of mount. I'm not sure what those are called, guys, really sorry. It's got the chamber for the grenades, and all the grenades fit in there. I'll show you just in a bit. The thing at the back here moves, but it doesn't stay at like a 90-degree. It falls down further, so that's kind of like a minus for that, but it can go all the way up. So I guess for storage purposes it works. You can also spin that around. I'm not sure why you would. Oh, just to put the bullets in. You can spin it around, or you could take it out entirely. So that's the piece there, and that's what this looks like. Let's try to fit some bullets in there. There we go. Just slots in pretty nicely. And sorry, I'm just trying to do it on camera, so it's a little bit difficult. And I've switched hands, and I'm horrible with my left, but oh well. So there we go. All bullets fit in, and I think they're grenades, not bullets. Either way, and the grenades look decent. They've got good sculpt to them, and they're painted alright, so that's pretty cool. The other thing that removes or that moves is the grenade chamber here, and you can also remove it completely if you want, like that. So yeah, this is the gun with the most moving parts, like I said before, and it's a pretty cool one. So if you assemble it back in, it looks like that. The only issue with mine is that the top is deviated a little bit, so yeah, that's the only complaint I have. But so finally we've got the bullet effects and the muzzle flares. On the extreme left here, we've got the bullet effect that has like a weird kind of color to it with the bullet sticking out at the end. So looks cool. It fits into most of the guns. So let's try the pistol with the silencer pipe here, and that's what it looks like. It's a loose fit on this one, but for some it fits in pretty well. So let's try another gun. So for that one, it fits in pretty snug. So that's what that looks like. And we'll just leave that here. And the other part is very similar to the previous one. And it's got a bullet at the end as well. So let's use this gun. And I'm doing it on camera, so I'm probably not doing the best job. Sorry, guys. Ooh, that kind of bent a little bit, so I'm worried. Yeah, that doesn't leave. There's definitely a hole there, but it's difficult to plug that in, so I'm not trying to risk anything here. It probably does go in. No holes here. Ooh, just figure that out. So it doesn't fit into that. Possibly does fit into this one. Let's try that. And it does. There we go. And yeah, the effects look all right. Just the color does look a little bit different. This one I think is a little bit lighter, and the bullet isn't painted, so it just looks like a muzzle flare. I guess that's all right, and it would fit into any of the weapons just like the other ones. And the other thing is the pegged piece kind of looks really dark for some reason. All the other ones, they look very similar to the actual muzzle color. And I can't plug that in, but yeah, it should fit into the guns, but it's probably just that because this is like a bootleg kind of thing, it just doesn't, it's not always a perfect fit. But yeah, that's what that looks like. And the last one we have here is like a splayed out kind of triple bullet effect. So the only weird thing is, oh no, it actually works out. So this bullet was shot first, so it's furthest, and then this one was shot right after, and this one was shot shortly after that one. So it just makes like a arc where you're swinging your gun and shooting at the same time, and that looks pretty cool. Let's try to fit it in the Gatling gun. So there's a Gatling gun here, and ooh, that's, oh, there's like a little blob here that's not letting me fit it in, but it should if I clean that out. So I'll just try that off camera, but yeah, that's what that looks like. So there you have it, guys. That's the Faker's Dozen. Lots of accessories, lots of cool weapons, and lots of cool swappable parts as well. The bullet effects did disappoint me a little bit because they were kind of weirdly colored and they don't really fit into the guns as well. And there's some extra plastic that's causing the issues, but they are really cheap. I got them for I think around 30 Australian dollars shipped, so it wasn't that bad, and you do get quite a lot of variety, and there are some moving parts as well. Obviously it's not going to be as quality controlled or as good of a quality as Mezko, but I think for what it is and for the price, it's definitely worth buying. And yeah, it just gives your Mezco action figures or your other action figures just a lot of things to hold on to and make them look cool. So yeah, there you go, guys. That's the review. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you do find this, I couldn't find a link on Aliexpress while reviewing this video, so if I do find it later on while editing, I'll add it into the description so you guys can buy it as well if you want. But yeah, I had a lot of fun doing this review. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and if you like this content, please like, and I'll definitely be coming to you in the next few weeks with a lot more custom tutorials as well. So stay tuned, guys. See you then.